Hello the Nighter. Today I will be doing a movie explained on the movie Upgrade, which is a 2018 science fiction action body horror film. Upgrade is a 2018 science fiction action body horror film written and directed by Leigh Whannell. It stars Logan Marshall Green, Betty Gabriel, and Harrison Gilbertson. So Gray Trace, a stay-at-home mechanic, lives with his wife Asha, who works for Cobalt, one of the companies contributing to an increase in human-computer augmentations in a near-future world. One day, Gray asks Asha to help him return a refurbished car to his client Aaron Keane, a famous tech innovator in charge of a rival company called Vessel. While visiting his home, Aaron reveals his latest creation, an AI chip called STEM that can serve as an auxiliary brain. On their way home, Gray and Asha's self-driving car malfunctions and crashes at a homeless camp. Four unknown men then arrive, shooting Asha in the stomach and Gray in the neck, severing his spinal cord. Gray watches helplessly as Asha bleeds to death next to him. Gray returns home months later as a wheelchair-bound quadriplegic, now under the care of his mother Pamela. Asha's death and the inability of Cortez, the detective assigned to her case, to identify their attackers has caused Gray to sink into an intense depression. After a failed suicide attempt by overdosing on medication, he is visited by Aaron, who offers to surgically implant STEM into Gray's spine and restore motor functions to his body. Though Gray is initially resistant, Aaron successfully persuades him to undergo the surgery. Gray goes through with the surgery and regains control of his limbs faster than expected. Aaron then has Gray sign a non-disclosure agreement to conceal STEM from everyone, including the police, and pretend to still be paralyzed when in public. While looking through case files on his wife's murder that night, Gray hears STEM speak into his mind. STEM says it can help Gray get revenge and quickly identifies one of the assailants, a local man named Cirque Brantner, from a drone video feed. STEM also discovers that Cirque and the assailants had modified guns implanted into their arms, explaining why police were unable to identify a murder weapon. Gray decides to investigate Cirque personally. Gray breaks into Cirque's home and discovers he was upgraded as a result of a secret military experiment, which connects him and another assailant to a local bar called the Old Bones. Cirque then returns home and discovers Gray, leading to a fight between the two. As Cirque begins to overpower Gray, STEM convinces Gray to temporarily give up control of his body. Under STEM's direction, Gray becomes a lethally efficient fighting machine, killing Cirque with little effort. Though they attempt to cover their tracks, Cortez sees drone footage of Gray approaching Cirque's house before the murder. However, she lacks evidence connecting Gray to Cirque's murder, or proof that he is capable of assaulting a person given his quadriplegic condition. Aaron learns what happened by tracking STEM's movements and berates Gray for his vigilantism. Gray reveals STEM is speaking to him, which surprises Aaron, who demands that Gray stop any further investigation. Nonetheless, Gray proceeds to the Old Bones and finds the next assailant, Tolan. With STEM's aid, Gray easily overpowers him. While leaving the bar, Gray collapses onto the ground. STEM informs Gray that Aaron is attempting to shut them down remotely and directs him to a hacker nearby who can sever Aaron's connection. After an arduous struggle, Gray finds the hacker, Jamie, who manages to remove STEM's input guard. Jamie then abandons them upon realizing they've been followed. Gray and STEM eventually find Fisk, threatening him at gunpoint to reveal why he killed Asha. Fisk reveals he was only hired to paralyze Gray so he could be implanted with STEM. Gray then attacks Fisk, who is so upgraded that he can outpace Gray's movements. STEM begs Gray to come up with some distraction, whereupon Gray taunts Fisk with the death of his brother. The emotional strain is enough for STEM to gain the upper hand and kill Fisk. Gray then searches Fisk's phone and discovers a message from Aaron, suggesting he orchestrated everything to make Gray the ideal test subject for STEM. Gray assaults Aaron's home, only to be held at gunpoint by Cortez before he can kill Aaron. Aaron then reveals that STEM had forced him to set things in motion from the beginning, having long since taken control of Aaron's life and his company in pursuit of its goal to become human. When it learned that Gray's body was completely unaugmented, it caused the car crash and directed Aaron to say exactly the right thing so that Gray would agree to its surgical insertion. After revealing its plan, STEM kills Aaron and attempts to kill Cortez. In a desperate effort to resist STEM, Gray forces his arm towards his neck and shoots himself. Gray suddenly wakes up in a hospital bed, fully in control of his body with Asha sitting by his side. He is convinced everything that happened was a bad dream experienced after surviving the car crash. The truth, however, is revealed as the scene cuts back to Aaron's home. STEM, now speaking through Gray's body, tells Cortez that Gray is not here anymore, because of the psychological strain he exerted attempting to resist STEM's control. Gray's mind snapped and STEM placed his consciousness into an idyllic fantasy world to live out the rest of his existence peacefully. With every other loose end tied off, STEM murders Cortez and leaves to enter society with its new body. So to explain this, STEM only wanted to be human and he chose Gray since he is someone pure without any artificial modification. Also STEM does not want anyone else like himself, so that's why he kills this creator Aaron, since he is the only one that can create other STEMs, also killing all those that have an upgrade similar to STEM.